Alright folks, it's time once again to give my top 10 characters from the EU. Last time I did Force users. This time we're going to do non-Force users, but good guys. Just good guys here. Because there's just a lot of characters in the EU that I absolutely love. Starting off at number 10 is a newer character to the EU. One of the last ones that was created, Scarlet Hawk from Honor Among Thieves. I just love something about Scarlet Hawk, and I know that if the EU would have continued, I was hoping we'd see more. I think we would see more from this character. In my review, I talked about what, kind of attracted me to her, and they did a short story about her too, but I was like, man, this is a really good character. And the whole time I was reading it, I did know it was the last EU book I'd ever read, but at the same time, I was like, I love this character. I thought she was good. I thought she was a strong character, had a lot of interesting characteristics about her, and I don't know, I mean, there's just something that, and finally, a different redhead other than Mara Jade that we could love, a non-Force user style of her. So I don't know, I just like that. Number 9 is Nim from the Starfighter Crossbones comic book, and he's in, I guess, the Starfighter video game, but I never played that. Crossbones is kind of a forgettable comic book. I don't see anyone that talks about that, but Nim instantly, the little pirate, he instantly connected to me. I cannot explain why. I've gone back and looked at my review and I was like, I don't know, I just thought it was cool. And even though the Starfighter Crossbones should not have appealed to me as much, I remember getting it just because it said Star Wars, but was really not interested in it. But because Nim's character was so good, I absolutely loved it, and I want to know more about Nim. I was actually cheering for his ship in the EU tournament we had on the website earlier this year. Didn't make it, but okay. Nim's still a great character. Number 8 is Talon Card, or Karad is what I used to call him, even though that's not how you say his name, Talon Card. I'm trying to get used to all these new names here. I don't listen to the audio books, so I just made up the name in my head. But anyway, he's a fantastic smuggler. I think he'd be on a lot of people's top 10 list, or I would imagine he would be at least for mine, for non-Force users. He's smooth. He can control a team with different attitudes, different personalities. He can be, who he needs to be. He can be strong and stern. He can be understanding and listening when he wants to. And I like that about him. Timothy Zahn did a great job creating an excellent character. And Talon Card. My number 7 goes to the comic books. I've talked about Delilah Blue from the Legacy comic book series. Cade Skywalker is a good character, but he's frustrating as a Force user, so I didn't put him on my list here. But Delilah Blue is always faithful to her man. I mean, she's staying to, even though he's mean, he's totally mean, he's undeserving, but she's a Zeltron. And to take a Zeltron, it makes you care about it. Besides the Zeltrons from the original Marvel series, you really don't care about the Zeltrons that much. They're one flop idea. But Legacy, John Ostrander says, no, I'm going to make this a serious character, and that love means unconditional love as well. It's not just only sexual, it's just that she supports and loves Cade Skywalker. And I was like, that was really good to add that extra, what's it called? That extra layer, I guess, to the Zeltrons. So, I really like Delilah Blue, one of my favorite comic book characters. But not my most favorite, I guess. Now I'm looking on this list. I'm going to go back to the books at number 6, Piggy from the Rogue Squadron series. Piggy is a Gamorrean who overwent some tests. He's very highly intellectual, and he's great. And he was the best part of Aaron Alston's Mercy Kill, too. I mean, Piggy, stripping down and dancing in the middle of the street to be a distraction while the team does completes their mission. I honestly believe that Aaron Alston had that idea in his mind before he even wrote the outline. He said, I'm going to have Piggy dancing naked by the end of this. I know he did. Piggy's a great character, and oh man, they gave him some fantastic backstory in Mercy Kill too. You need to go back and watch the review, but I really thought that was good too. So they gave him some layers too. But you have a character that's in the movies that no one really cares about. I remember we had a couple of Gamorrean guards, fat, tubby, green pig, space pigs, right? You'd fight them, but they weren't that important. Well, now he took a character that not many people thought was, could be interesting, and made him in the expanded universe to be this highly, you're thinking Gamorreans, right? You're thinking, wow, this is very interesting. Piggy brought that, which not many people could do that. Bring those, you know, non-cool looking aliens and make them the awesomest thing in the world. These aren't words here, I'm saying. But anyway, Piggy would get on to me for my lack of vocabulary here. I love Piggy. He's my number 6. Number 5 is back to the comic books, is Villy. From Star Wars and Star Wars Republic. You know, he's the Devorian who is Quinlan Voss's right-hand man when the money is right. He's almost like the anti-hero here. He's the villain too a little bit. He's a little shady and whatnot. But I think Villy is so funny. And he does it for the money. Does he care about Quinlan Voss and the gang? Yes, a little bit, but if the money gets too high, you don't want Villy watching your back. And I love that. He's lovable. In fact, the Devorian's Tale, it's a 2-part series, and I believe it's the Star Wars, either Republic or just ongoing Star Wars. I can't remember when this came out. But it's him basically retelling the story of what happened through his eyes as Villy's the hero. I don't really like goofy Star Wars stories, you know, what if stories. I absolutely hate. But that 2-part series, I just laughed the whole time. I loved it. I love the whole thing because I love Villy. He's a fantastic character. Number 4 is a bit of a cheat, but I don't care. This is my list, not yours. It is Sindel and Mace Tatwani from the Ewok movies. Sindel was in Black Fleet Crisis. She was mentioned once. I'm sorry, I'm an Ewok fan. I love all the movies. I think they're great. And I rewatch them with my girls, and I just love them. I connect to them. I was their age when I was watching it. How could I not like them, right? Mace was a little obnoxious little punk kid. They eventually got humbled at the end. Nice arc. Sindel, really, really nice. All heart, just right up the alley of the Ewoks. And she was great too, and I always wanted to know what became of Sindel. I even wrote some fan fiction I never finished about it too, but I don't know, just those characters, watching them again with my kids, my little girls are going to love Sindel Tatwani as they get older and watch those again. They sit down and watch the whole thing because there's a little girl and there's Ewoks, you know, and now that is why they sleep with 2 of my stuffed Ewoks in their crib today. Okay, so I still love Sindel and Mace Tatwani. I think they're interesting characters. I love them. That's why they're my favorite. Number 2 is another cheat, but again, I don't care. This is my list, not yours. I love Face and Tom Fannin. I love these characters from Rogue Squadron. I think they are fantastic. Together, they're unbeatable. Those jibes back and forth between them. Of course, I told you that was the one moment I had tears in my eyes reading the EU. That was the death that hit me the hardest out of anyone's. Because I love, it's like Laurel and Hardy. It was, you know, Batman and Robin. You don't separate Face and Tom. You never do that because they're the best ones. You know, besides Wedge, they can kill off the rest of them. Yes, Hobbs and Wes Jansen, they can go too. I mean, I love those characters, but to be honest, Face, Tom Fannin, Wedge Antilles, those are the 3 that need to make it out. If I save 3 people in a burning fire, it's going to be those 3. And then you kill off Tom. You kill off one of the halves of Penn and Teller. Fits so well together. And then when he's gone, and Face's story going forward is really nice too. But man, Face and Tom together, Tom Fannin together were just great. And I absolutely love them. And I don't care if it's cheating if I pick 2. Screw you, this is my list. But who's my number 1 favorite non-force using EU character? You're going to be surprised because I was surprised with this. Booster Taric. Man, I love this dude. He's old, he's crotchety, he's cranky, and he claimed a Star Destroyer for his own. Painted red too. He ain't hiding from anyone. And he's stubborn, and people can fear him. At the same time, he does have a soft heart, but he doesn't want to show it. And I don't know, every time he showed up after the X-Wing books, I was so happy to see him. You know, we'd see a little bit of that here and there, and he didn't do much later on as he got older, but man, it was like, if Mirax and Corran, you know, were talking, I wasn't interested. But if Mirax says, oh, hey, Dad's coming in, then I'd get excited. I want to see Corran's father-in-law. I absolutely love this character. Michael Stackpole did a great job with him. Everyone that took him over, I think Aaron Alston worked with him a little bit. And of course, he got a few guest star appearances in the later books. But he's just great. You know, he says, nope, I'm taking the Star Destroyer. Nope, it's mine. The Rumbler's like, no, we need, you can't, a civilian, especially someone like you with your reputation, you can't have one. I don't care. I didn't ask. This is what I'm getting for helping you. And then he's going to paint it red too, just to shove it in their face. The only red Star Destroyer in the galaxy belongs to Booster Taric. I love that. That's why he's my #1 non-Force using character. Hey folks, let me know in the comments, non-Force users of the EU, who are your favorites? Let me know, and I'll see you next time.